Hi, my name is Timon from Go Study WIU, an agency that helps international students easily transition to the Western Illinois University right here in the United States. Success as an international student can depend on many things. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to prepare for success. Now, let's explore some habits that can help you to be successful even before you enter the classroom. First, attend orientations. Orientation is an introduction to the university for newcomers. In those orientation sessions, you would get to learn about the university, what the school offers, some of the services that they offer. You'd even get to learn about the building, the layout of the university, the expectations of the university as to what they want from you as a student. So it is very crucial that you attend orientation. So if you're flying into the country as an international student, be sure to plan to arrive prior to orientation so that you are there to attend the orientation sessions. Some universities have multiple orientation sessions. Some orientations are specifically for international students, while others are just for the incoming class of that particular year. So if you're an international student, you want to attend the one that is specific to you also, as it would give more specific information about your requirements as an international student. The second thing you'd want to do is get to know the campus. As much as possible, you can explore maps that give the layout of the campus so that you understand where you are whenever you see in a particular building. You'll have a sense of direction based on where you are. You'd also want to understand the campus because you have to get to your classes. And in order to get to your classes on time, you have to know where you're going. There wouldn't be someone there to take you around every day when you start your classes. So try to get to know the campus even before you start your classes. One of the ways you can get to learn the campus is by doing tours provided by the university. There are many universities that do tours to show the layout of the campus to new students. That would give you a very good idea as to where your classes are and how to get there on time. Aside from learning where your classes are, you'll want to learn some key buildings that are located on the university. The administrative building in general is a very important building to learn about. In those administrative buildings, generally you would find a registrar where you can register for classes. In case you have difficulties registering online, you can do it in person there. You can pay tuition fees, or you can get useful information based on what you're doing. So learn where the administrative building is, because that is a very important building to know about as a student, especially an international student. Other key buildings that you should learn about would be like the library, the recreational room, or the recreational center where you would go to get your exercise and all of that. Those are key things because they help. First of all, the library, you would need it to study and to get resources to do your work. The recreation center would be places that you'd go to exercise or play games. It is important because you want to stay healthy as a student. So you'd want to know where those facilities are so that you can use them to remain healthy and be a successful student. When you arrive first as an international student, most universities would have you meet first with your academic advisor and maybe even your international student advisor. That is important because you have to be registered for your classes. So they would ensure that you're registered for the correct classes and you're in the right course. So that would be very important to do as soon as you get to the campus. Another important thing is that you'd want your class schedule. So after you've registered, you're then able to get your class schedule, which would tell you which buildings you have your classes in, which rooms they're in, and what time they start and the days that your classes are. So you'd want to make sure you meet with your advisors so that you have all of that information prior to starting classes. The nice thing about universities are that you can get your syllabus online. So you can get your syllabus for all of your courses most times online, even before the class starts. This would provide key information for things like getting required texts or resources that you would need, getting the course information as to the course number, the location of the course, the time, days, and everything that pertains to that particular course, office hours of your professor. So those are important information that you'd want to have even before you start your class. A very useful piece of resource that you can use to get textbooks or preferably for me, I use Deal Oz, DEAL Oz. That's a place where I find textbooks and I can rent them, return them when I'm done with the semester, or I can buy used textbooks. So you don't have to buy brand new textbooks and spend a bunch of money. Navigate around that website and find the textbooks that work for you. So you can find useful resources that help to lessen your cost as an international student. In some instances, professors do not necessarily require certain textbooks for a class, so they might provide the information that you need to complete the class. So that's why the syllabus is important, because if there is something called a required textbook, it then means that you're expected to get that textbook. If it is not required, then it might be optional. Some resources, like supplementary resources, might be important to helping you succeed in a particular class, or access codes and things that you would need to complete that class. So you'd want to access that syllabus as early as possible to plan and schedule how your classes are going to be taken and what you need prior to starting those classes. Being successful requires the practice of good habits. Learning these good habits very early on can be very useful in your academic career. There are many other things I could mention related to success as a student even before you start classes. Those are just some of the ideas that you would want to think of. I'll provide another episode that deals with the beginning of classes and what are some of the things that you should do as a student when you start your first year as an academic international student. So, thank you for watching my video, and as usual, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, but most importantly, share my video with a friend.